so much for joining us. It's Insight on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrence Umoette. Well, it's the day after. The day after the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the 16th president of Nigeria. For over 5 hours yesterday, the attention of the world was focused on Nigeria as the traditional transition of leadership took place. And so it came to pass that in the year of the Lord 2023, May 29th, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the leader of Nigeria. He is now on the arms of affairs of the country. The president's inaugural speech expectedly has been generating reactions. From the reduction of interest rates to the unified exchange rate, from removal of multiple taxation for investors to defining a specific place for women and youth, from security to promotion of unity. The president's speech was far-reaching. But perhaps the biggest reaction to the speech came from, yes, you guessed right, the subsidy question. And so on Insight today, we will stay with the inaugural speech of the president. And my guest is already seated, Honorable Musu Emmanuel. He is an APC chieftain and is also the National Director, Amalgamated APC Support Groups. Welcome to the program, Honorable Emmanuel.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you in the station.
Pleasure. Happy to be here.
I'm also impressed that you were able to make it after the whole partying and everything yesterday.
Yeah, the excitement of the new administration is our tonic.
I know. So you can join our live stream on YouTube by typing in Citizen FM 93.7 and you will be able to watch the show. You can also listen to us online on www.citizenfm.ng. And not forgetting our social media platforms on Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen FM 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. So that's how it's going to be for the next 50 minutes or thereabout. Let's start. The subsidy question was the major news, but for some people, the president did not really say anything new about the subsidy. I was wondering why the reaction was that, because if you look at the budget, the appropriation bill of 2023, the subsidy provision stopped in June, I think. And the president said as much, that from information available to him, the subsidy regime stops in June. So that means the subsidy is gone. A lot of people think it was a policy initiated by the president.
Well, most people may not know well, and some may know, but still want to play dumb, if you have to use that word. The truth of the matter is that government is a continuum. Even if this were not to be an APC government taking over from APC, there must be some measured continuity before you begin to deviate. Otherwise, if you cut policies so abruptly, you may run into problems. We're talking about a nation of over 200 million people. So government being a continuum, the administration has seen that the previous administration did not budget for subsidy for the 2023 fiscal year. So what's the big deal? He said the obvious. There's nothing for me to do because I can go back. I have to continue. Even if I would change my mind, it's not at this moment. But I don't think he would change his mind because this is a continuation of an APC government and administration. So the truth of the matter is that we need to remove fuel subsidy, if at all is still there, because there's so much secrecy surrounding this fuel subsidy stuff. And that is why a lot of Nigerians are agitated. You know, the moment they hear fuel subsidy, people feel so worried. Oh, there's going to be trouble. There's going to be that. No. All we need is transparency. Once there's transparency in that sector, you will notice that the agitation and the fear will go. You know, even if you remove fuel subsidy. But now people don't even know whether there's fuel subsidy, there is no fuel subsidy. All we know is that government keeps increasing pump prices. And each time they will say, oh, we're spending so much. And the marketers will say, we're purchasing at this rate. Nobody really has come out to give an open information for citizens to understand the A to Z of what is going on. So I expect that the government coming in will not just remove fuel subsidy, but will play transparency.
All right, okay, that brings me to the second part of the subsidy question. In 2012, the Jonathan administration attempted to go this route. It was resisted by a lot of Nigerians, especially people in the opposition, most of them in government now. And people are asking, what really changed between 2012 and now?
Well, if 2012, I happen to be one of the civil society leaders that seriously supported the removal of fuel subsidy, you know, because I knew then that we will come back to it if we didn't allow the then government to do it. But unfortunately, a lot of people, for mischief or ignorance, decided to oppose it, and we're back to it. Let me be very frank. The former immediate past president was at the forefront of calling subsidy a scam. And he got into government and discovered, oh, it wasn't actually a scam. I have to uphold it for a while and see how it goes. So, you know, when people are ill-informed or uninformed, a lot of things go wrong. So,
was it a matter of being ill-informed, or was it a matter of lack of political will to do what was right?
Well, talking about government, yes. But talking about citizens, many people were in 2012 uninformed about what subsidy was. So when the then government said we're going to remove it, only few people that understood the importance and imperative of removing it supported him. But today we're back to it, and what it is that it has to go. It has to go. Maybe now is the best time because there is some form of cushioning that will come through the just completed private refinery by Aliko Dangote. Maybe that's just the credit we must have to give the past government, because the fear was that we import and it puts pressure on our currency because we use dollars to do that transaction. So now we're going to transact with our currency, Naira. So it will be very easy. Dangote has said, my refinery can produce enough for our local consumption and also for export. That means just like you go and become distributors for any kind of product manufactured here, people can walk in there and say, I want to be a distributor of your products, and there will be enough for local consumption. Now it is for the regulator to engage with the refinery to now agree on what, but definitely the price will not shoot up as it would have without local transaction in our local currency.
Oh, okay. In the course of our discussion before we came on set, you said you were some time ago doing some business in the oil sector. So that means you have some knowledge about how some things operate there. Now, in the last couple of years, our refineries have been redundant. How difficult is it to get refineries to work in Nigeria?
It's not difficult. I said it before that Nigeria is one of the easiest nations to govern and make prosperous if somebody is simply honest. It's dishonesty and lack of transparency on the part of our leaders past that brought us to where we are. And that is why nothing works here. It is as easy as ABC. If we can open up the sector and make it transparent, Why is it that there's so much secrecy in NMPC? Why is it that nobody is ready to open up the books? Everybody that comes looks away and pretends not to know that something terrible is happening there. We've gone through this over and over. So it's just a question of who is willing to do the right thing and who is sincere enough to give Nigeria good leadership.
All right, if you're just joining us, it's Insight on Citizen FM 93.7, and we are doing a review of the president's inaugural address yesterday after assumption of office. And my guest is Musu Emmanuel, an APC chieftain. He's also the national director, Amalgamated APC Support Group. So effectively, he's an insider in the political party. So, Musu, let's look at security. It wasn't a surprise that this president also spoke about security, and he also said something to the fact that he was going to defend the nation from terror. But he also said he was going to reform the security architecture and doctrine. How easy is this?
Well, I think this one is going to take a while. I must honestly congratulate Nigerians for what happened yesterday, because this is the first time we are really electing someone who prepared to be president, who labored to be president. And that is why I align myself seriously and strongly with the statement made by the president, distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency, who said, from tomorrow, that was yesterday, do not pity me, because I sought for this job. I will deliver. He said, I prepared and I labored to get this. So, I'm not doing you people a favor. All the ones we have had before behave as if we're doing Nigerians favor for becoming our president. But this one said, I am going to do this job because I fought to get it and I labored to get it. I prepared. He understands that he needs to rework our security architecture. And that is one thing that he needs to focus on. Nonetheless, it's not an overnight thing, because you got to follow some due process. Because security, especially when it goes to the military and all that, you got to be very careful so that you don't cause internal crisis. So it's not something he will do overnight, but definitely he needs to do that, because it's evident that the present architecture is not working. We have been dying in numbers in this country, and people have not told us anything. All the people that came before as commanders of this operation and that operation just passed, and the insecurity is intensifying. So there's a need to rework the system.
All right. Maybe we should just get back to the economy. The president also appealed to foreign investors that he was going to take a comprehensive look at their complaints in the past, even both foreign and domestic investors, and he was going to open up the space, so to speak. He also spoke on multiple taxation and unifying the exchange rate. This has also sent things working, because some people believe that this is tough, especially that of a single exchange rate.
Well, I don't see anything tough about it. When I was here some time ago, I said the president must take tough decisions if he wants to help this country. But if he wants to please people, he can go the way of others, and the country will continue to go down. Why are you a leader of a country? Is to give direction and to make sure that the country moves forward. So if you take a decision that is in the best interest of the country, you should be glad, and history will be kind to you. So I have said it, and I'm happy the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has reiterated the fact that we must stop this double exchange market. That is immediate. It's so important. You know, people just stay in their homes and they talk with the central bank operators, and they pull some hundreds of thousands of dollars and they shoot it out there, and they make billions of naira profit. What kind of thing is that? So we need to make sure that we have a unified exchange markets. That is immediate. These are things he needs to do within the next 7 days. He must insist. I understand the tone of the speech, but now he is in charge. From this moment, he should look at the CBN, clean up the CBN and the NMPC. These two places must be reworked. There's a lot of rot in those two what do you call it? Two parastatals. We need to deal with them if we want our economy to rise. Otherwise, we'll just be running in circle, and it requires somebody who is willing to do the needful. And I think the president is ready to do that.
But some people will say that there is bound to be a backlash.
It depends on what backlash people expect. For every action, there's a reaction.
Especially for people who have been benefiting from this.
Yeah, people who are entrenched in the criminality going on in NMPC and the CBN. Are we supposed to allow them while the majority vacillate between poverty and abject poverty? I think he has to deal with what needs to be dealt with. NMPC must be opened up. CBN, we must clean it out. The double market, exchange market must be stopped. These are things he needs to do. Whether there's backlash from those who feel we're benefited or not, he needs to do it for the good interest of the majority.
And also talking about job creation, the president touched on this, saying that he was going to provide more jobs, especially for youth. Now, economists will tell you that you don't create jobs by fiat.
Absolutely.
So, which way? What are the practical ways you think you're?
That is it. When we say we're going to create jobs, you ask, are you going to drop the jobs from space? Well, he has said he will encourage massive infrastructure development, and when that is going on, jobs will be created. Yes, that is okay, certain kind of jobs. But I think we need to look into manufacturing. But before we go there, there must be vested interest in power. You know, the power sector drives everything, because there are people who can create jobs, private sector jobs, if there is constant electricity. So what government should look into those areas that we jumpstart the economy, and power happens to be one of those, you know, and I'm happy he spoke about it. So power infrastructure, the contract that brought the discos and gencos, he needs to holistically take a look at them and make sure that the power sector begins to function. Encourage states, like he has said he would do, encourage state governments now that power has been moved off the exclusive list. Let the states get involved so that we will have abundant power supply. You will see how jobs will be, because most jobs must come through manufacturing sector.
All right, we need to take a break. It's still Insight on Citizen FM 93.7, and we are reviewing the president's inaugural address. And my guest has been Nwosu Emmanuel, an APC chieftain. He's also the national director, Amalgamated APC Support Group. Insight will return in a moment. Please don't go away.
Citizen FM Abuja. Yeah. Citizen FM Abuja. Yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Citizen FM Abuja. Citizen FM Abuja. Citizen FM Abuja. Citizen FM Abuja.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. 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 Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Citizen FM Abuja. Citizen FM Abuja.
Around us, discussing the latest development and how technology can enrich you and make your life more exciting. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina. Welcome to our world of technology. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, expanding our global reach through technology.
93.7 Citizen FM.
Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station.
We're more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's still Insights on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrence Umoette. And my guest is still in the studio, Mosu Emmanuel, APC Chieftain, and also National Director, Amalgamated APC Support Group. Mosu, thank you for staying tuned.
Thank you.
All right, the phone lines are open now. You can call us on 0903 2229 797. That's 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205 or 0818 2222206. You can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of these numbers and we will read your message. Just let us know where you're writing in from, and not forgetting our live stream on YouTube. Type in Citizen FM and you will be part of the show. And also you can listen to us online on www.citizenfm.ng. Our social media platforms are also there on Facebook at Citizen FM 937, also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937, and also on Instagram at Citizen FM 937. So that's how it's going to be. Let's have your reactions on any of the points raised so far by my guests. So now let's look at the civil service structure. A lot of people believe that that's the engine room of any administration. If administration wants to be solid, the policies will also depend on how good the civil service is. The Oronsanye report recommended merging of ministries and all that. Governments since 2012, 2014, nobody seems to be able to do anything about it. Is your party ready to take the bull by the horn this time around?
Goes back to what we've been saying. It requires someone who is willing to pay the price of leadership. You see, a leader must be very firm and resolute when it comes to protecting the interest of the led. So I believe that as Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as president, we do the needful. The Oronsanye report has been begging for implementation for years, and nobody seemed to be willing to do that for the same fear of backlash. We got to move on in this country. We can't be running in circles. And I think this is the right time to do it, because the man who desired to be president and has become president is on the saddle. So I believe there will be total implementation of that report, and then there will be improvement in the system we run as the civil service system, because that is the bureaucracy. If we don't improve the bureaucracy, we will not go anywhere. I mean, people still work as if, government work, it doesn't concern me. Anytime I want, I go to office, whether or not I pay my salary. We got to change the mentality, and a lot of work need to go there if we can move forward. That is why investors have problems here. You come here, your file is kept somewhere, and somebody, a junior staff, will just take a walk, and they will tell you, well, until he comes, this file cannot move anywhere. What kind of system is that? So we need to work on the bureaucracy within the civil service too.
Well, again, have you considered the cost? Because this will come at a political cost.
Well, that is the problem we have, and we've always had. But I can assure you that majority of Nigerians are now aware that we need a president who will take tough decisions to help this country move forward. So anybody that does that will reap political capital instead of having a negative backlash. Honestly speaking, I think that it will be in our own interest as a party for the president to take these tough decisions. Nigerians will appreciate it when we go to the polls in 2027. So I wouldn't expect us to begin to worry about what will happen. Let's just do the right thing and the needful.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Colin from Gary.
All right, please go ahead.
I think I like what the president George did here. I know that it's going to affect me based on that, because I'm a transporter, so I know it's going to affect me for a while.
You know you are what?
Because I'm a transporter, I did Uber now, I drive car, so I know it's going to affect. But as time goes on, we are going to enjoy it based on the, at least, there's nothing like taking our crude oil to France or something to go and refine. Okay? So, and if you want to make something to work, you have to take decision that it's very strong. That's one thing that made me like El-Rufai when he was the minister of FCT then. You know? no matter how you complain, the man, if he said, I'm going to do this, he's going to do that. And that's what makes Abuja beautiful by then. And so if you want to make something work, you must take tough decision. It's going to affect, but as time goes on, people will realize that what he did is very good.
Okay,
and I wish.
Kola, you're talking about the subsidy issue.
Yes, it's good.
Okay, okay.
It's good. We are going to suffer for it for a while, but at least as time goes on, we will enjoy it. My own concern is that they should use the money at least to do something, and let us see what they are using the money for. So they should use the money they are going to make from there to do something. That's it. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Kola. Well, I don't.
Well, I think he's very right. The only thing is that the expected suffering, so to say, may not come if that subsidy is well handled, because we now have a functional refinery. Transactions will be in local currency. So all the excuses we used to have for hiking prices will not be there.
But the problem was smuggling will still be there. Remember, one of the problems then, when the argument for subsidies that, most of the products find their way out of the country because of our porous borders.
Why should our borders be porous? That is part of what needs to be done. If the custom leadership cannot handle the borders, you remove them. People got to quit if they can't execute the purpose for which they occupy office. I think we have eminently qualified Nigerians in millions that can occupy any position and be very effective. So I think it is no more time for people to go to sleep and occupy position while the country is suffering. Our borders must be well policed, and if whoever is in charge cannot do that, you show him the way out and put another person. By the time we try 3-4 people, within 4 years, we'll get somebody that will do it well. So there's no excuse about that. Why is it only in Nigeria that borders are porous? So, as far as I'm concerned, we can't use the fact that they smuggle fuel to say, we will not do it right. We got to do what will benefit our country and let the people do what they should do.
Okay, just a minute. Hello?
Lawrence, good morning.
Hey, buddy, good to hear from you. Good morning.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Thank God he's an APC chieftain. Yeah. At least he could be able to pass a message that we are passing to his boss this morning.
That's why we brought him here.
Yes. Lawrence, to your big guest. Removing subsidy as something, every Nigerian, I've been one of the advocates of removing subsidy. But removing the subsidy now, I know there was no provision for it. Nigerians will shout. Did it have any pushing effect? For him making that pronouncement yesterday, already the whole town is everywhere is now, there's queue everywhere, people are locked up. What is the next step? Because Nigerians are expecting something from him to tell Nigerians the way forward since he has removed subsidies. I think it is high time to tell Nigerians the way forward, for them to believe that removing the subsidy, they actually have a plan on ground. If he kept quiet, it would be a disaster. But removing the subsidy, we all wanted it. So let's see how we can move forward and make headway. And what is it doing about the refinery? Is there any other way out that something is on ground already? Let Nigerians know. I think Nigerians needing to be talking now to us, just like what he said. There's not going to be a ruler, but a leader. Lawrence, good morning.
Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you.
Yes, let me quickly say that the subsidy was not removed yesterday by the president. The subsidy was removed by immediate past government because they did not make provision for that in the budget.
Okay, let's take this call. Let's see. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you, sir?
I'm okay. Please go ahead. What's your name?
I'm Abuja. Sorry, I'm calling from Area 1.
Okay, Abubakar, please go ahead.
Actually, Alhaji Aswado Bola Ahmed Tinubu is someone that we trust and we have our confidence.
Oh, Abubakar, we lost that. Maybe you can call back. The number to call is 0903 22 29797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205 or 0818 2222206. You can also send us a WhatsApp message if you don't want to call, and so we can read your message, especially when you let us know where you're writing in from. So, Uma, if you can, please call back. We have about 5 minutes to wrap this up before we leave this place, because my guest has another engagement somewhere. Okay, let's look at politics before we go.
Sorry, before that, let me quickly say that the subsidy palliative people are talking about, buying of buses, is useless. That is not what people should be discussing.
Job for the boys.
The buses they bought before, where are they? We should be talking about palliatives that will reduce the costs. And the thing is that the government must be transparent about explaining what has been removed, how much it is, where the money is going, and what is now happening to the marketers. Where do they purchase? How much do they purchase? What is the cost price? These are things that should be made known so that we know where our problem is with fuel.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, sir.
Morning to our guests.
Good morning.
Maxman calling from Ako.
Hey, Maxman, good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah. You see, it's well that our president was sworn in yesterday came out to tell us that he knows the weight of the job and he campaigned for the job and he's ready for the job. It's a very nice one. We Nigerians will like to support him so long as he comes out with the policy. But the declaration he made about subsidy being no more, we should revisit that because we should remove the subsidy without we having a refinery. No matter the effect, the cushion that the Dangote refinery is going to cost, there will be high in fuel price. We cannot have something and then be buying the same thing we have, the same price with other people who does not have, before we make use of it. Please, our leaders should think right. We should think of repairing our refineries before backing or removing subsidy. It's not like I said we want the subsidy. We don't need it. But because we don't need it, we cannot just kill ourselves. Imagine what happened during the currency swap, what we passed through. That is exactly the same thing that is going to happen if we remove the subsidy without taking care of our refineries. Because as it is, we are the ones who are going to sell fuel to Dangote refinery at international price.
Okay.
Therefore, the only thing that will reduce there is just transport. Why can't we repair our refinery? It takes nothing to build a refinery. Ogogo, is it not being refined? It's the same process. Only refinery for crude, refinery for crude oil is more complex.
All right, thank you, Maxman.
I have refined Ogogo before when I was young. It's the same process.
All right, thank you so much, Maxman. We are really running out of time. Musu, before I let you go, I don't want us to overflow the subsidy issue. The president said yesterday that his election, he won his election fair and square. I'm sure the opposition will disagree with this.
Well, I think we're in the tribunal. I think everybody understands that there has to be opposition to everything, but it doesn't mean that the opposition is right. So there's no doubt to any right-thinking person who has observed presidential elections in Nigeria, to their mind, that the president won his election free and fair. And in fact, this is the best so far conducted by INEC. Up stages everywhere. People who thought, oh, I'm the Don, I'll win here, they lost there. So this is a very transparent, free and fair election, and we're happy that the president won because he is a person who led board and prepared, and he is now on the seat. I think what Nigerians should do is to give him all the support. Let us see what happens in the next 6 months. I'm telling you, by the time we are here in the next 6 months, we'll be singing doxology.
Well, I want to share your optimism. I hope it turns out that way. But we have to leave it at that. For today, Musu Emmanuel, APC Chieftain, and also National Director, Amalgamated APC Support Group. And we may have cause to bring you back, in the course of the tenure of your party and your president. Thank you so much, Musu.
Thank you.
Well, that's our package on Insights today. The program returns tomorrow. My name is Lawrence Umoette. Enjoy the rest of your day.